There has been a long time since we have started talking about tourism. We can develop through tourism. This has been rhetoric for a long time, but in fact, still tourism is okay. The technical problem has been fixed. Okay. In, for example, we only have we only have received just a million tourists in a year, which is very low compared to and the average stay in Nepal is just to boost our development. Okay, just 13 days stay, 2 weeks only, and just $40 is spent per day per tourist. That is also very low. And most of the tourists come for holiday making and adventure. Okay, these are the two reasons why tourists come to visit Nepal. So the tourism is very limited and it has seasonality limitations. Only in summer seasons our tourism sector remain almost closed or very underutilized. Rooms are not booked fully in other seasons, only in autumn. As the country like ours, which has biological diversity, cultural diversity, able to attract less than a million people per year, and they too stay for just less than 2 weeks and spend less than $50 per day. So we have to do lot if we want to develop our tourism in the 21st century and in this digital age. We frequently change it and we do not implement master plans. That is our weakness. And we do not have a strategic plan as well. There have been certain attempts. Let me talk about certain potentials where we should go for. Okay, I have already talked about its weaknesses. Then we can understand where we should go for. Okay, we should strive for long-term tourism. Nepal is environmentally very favorable for healthcare and education. But our healthcare and education systems are so fragile and weak that we are our own patients. But the potential is that we can attract people not only from South Asia, from across the world to come for treatment in Nepal. That should be our one strategy because the environment is very favorable. Second is education hub. We can make Nepal an education hub because Nepal's ecology is quite favorable. We can open branches of renowned universities in Nepal and attract students from around the world. This health to come to Nepal for a longer time. The other things we can do is appropriate infrastructure, legal and policy environment, as well as such partnership programs for such institutions. Such research institutions, particularly on biodiversity, okay, sociology, and certain fields like study of the Himalayas, okay, in such fields we can attract researchers to Nepal, which also promote long-term tourism. Most missing, like our tradition, if we remember our traditions, most rishis and sages would come to Nepal for penance, meditation, and yogas. But this tradition is no longer entrepreneurs in Nepal and outside Nepal can develop such centers around Himalayas. And we can also establish training institutions on yogas in Nepal across the below the Himalayan trail. Next things we can do is Himalaya, particularly this young Himalaya, which spreads all over 2400 kilometers, and most part of it lies in Nepal. We can develop joint tourism programs with Tibet, India, and other countries as needed, because such project could be like the Great Himalayan Trail GST. This has been floated decades ago, but the work done towards this end is quite inadequate. Okay, if we can develop a great Himalayan trail, can attract people from around the world. So we can develop trekking trails and also various kinds of ecological experience giving trails. Moreover, there is a possibility of agroecotourism where people can visit the field, they can work in the field, they can have fresh foods and meats with the farmers, and we can integrate organic farming and tourism so that ecotourism and agrotourism can be fostered. Similarly, we can standardize a homestay systems by bringing them into network and marketing together and making them reliable and ensuring basic quality standards and digitalizing them, right? So that people can book their homestays from abroad and they can be assured of the quality of service they provide, because without standardization of services, people won't believe us. So homestay culture has already started, but its standardization, bringing it into nationwide network and marketing it together would bring would add value to the homestay tourism. This is another area we can do better than others. Similarly, we can also multi-adventure tourism spots like Pokhara, where bungee jumping, gliding, uh, zipping, okay, several adventurous items can be brought together as a package so that people come to have such experiences in a package, not in a fragmented way. So we have a lot of potential in tourism sectors, but we have fallen far behind too from utilizing those opportunities. As we are rich in biodiversity, botanical gardens, okay, can be established all across the country, and people can be attracted to explore such botanical gardens, flower garden, or different kinds of Another very potential area is religious tourism, for which we can have great Hindu circuit and great Buddhist circuit, which will connect to India and also Tibet together. That will enhance our tourism attraction because, for example, from Pasupati to Kailas, okay, from Janakpur to Pasupati to Kailas, it would itself, itself will be a typical experience for any Hindu person. Similarly, from Lumbini to Swayambhunath to Tibet and to Bodh Gaya, India, all these can be connected and packaged tourism can be created so that people who believe in Buddhism across the world and those who do not believe but want to explore Buddhism can uh, uh, can be attracted by such great Hindu circuit and great Buddhist circuit. We have to do a lot of works in that direction. That would be very potential area for cooperation with other countries as well as building basic infrastructures and programs and plans within the country. So, tourism sector. Another way we can boost our tourism is we have to connect it with other sectors like education, health, agriculture, okay, research and study, conferences, holding conferences, okay, sports, particularly if we sports, for particularly cricket and footballs, we can make good grounds, good playgrounds in Nepal so that we can organize different levels of games within the country so that people from across the world come to visit Nepal to see those games. And so sports tourism can be connected. Okay, education, not only long-term education but short-term courses can also be conducted in collaboration with educational institutions across the globe. That will be our long-term tourism promotion. Particularly healing culture, what I want to emphasize today is Nepal is can healing tourism. By HEALING, healing tourism, I mean two, three kinds of tourism. Okay, particularly long-term diseases who need therapies, also producing very professional healthcare professionals at healthcare. They can be utilized to attract. So what we have to do is world class standards and we have to ensure the quality. Then Nepal can be a healing center because we have Ayurveda. We can integrate Ayurveda, yoga, our world class medical facilities together. We can integrate these things together, then we can make Nepal a healing Himalayan Nepal, and they can come for long-term health gain, particularly those affected by blood pressure and long-term care. Those people, if we can provide services to those peoples in our friendly and very uh, livable climate, they can be attracted to Nepal. It will create be increased dramatically if we go for this. Nepal can be a healing center for people around the world. We have our healthcare system, we have to renew it, revive it, and we have to develop strategies to sell our healthcare services to the world. Also integrating Ayurveda, yogas, and therapies. Okay, these things, traditional medicine, if we integrate all these things and integrate this to tourism, then Nepal can be a healing center for meditation, yoga, therapy, long-term care, health education, and world class health services. This should be our strategy for making Nepal attractive not only for short-term tourism but long-term tourism. To emphasize is this is digital age. We have to digitalize our tourism sector. I have already said, for example, blockchain technology can be integrated with homestay so that it can be well maintained, registered, monitored, marketed across the globe. Similarly, our tourism marketing strategy must go for digital marketing aggressively, and we can also develop virtual reality tourism so that people can experience our countries and specific natural beauties living at their home, and they will be attracted to it, and they will also uh, come as tourists in their appropriate time. So virtual reality tourism must also be integrated with our uh, in-person tourism. Qatar has already started the virtual reality tourism, VR tourism, that has but services are quite fragmented, unpredictable. So nowadays people want everything predictable in one place and complete their journey through their mobile smartphone. And that should be made possible by providing digital one-stop digital services for tourism. That is very, very important nowadays. Other things which we have been saying since some decades are infrastructure development, of cleanliness. Okay, these things must be there. But today, what I want to emphasize is two aspects. One is we should have a grand strategy, like Great Himalayan Trail, Great Buddhist Circuit, Great Hindu Circuit, Healing Himalayan Nepal, kind of grand ideas and master plans accordingly, and we have to implement such master plans. Second thing is we have to digitalize everything for tourism, one-stop tourism services. That would be very, very important in this digital age. The future is digital and AI driven. That will also provide us real data, real time data, and we can analyze those data to improve our services. So, AI driven, real time data generation and analyzing those data for short term service improvement and long term planning is also crucial to develop our tourism sector. It should be aligned with other sectors like agriculture, okay, uh, agriculture, health, education, entertainment, sports, okay, cross-sectoral bilateral cooperation. Because, for example, great Buddhist circuit can be and great Hindu circuits cannot be possible without cooperation with India and Tibet. So we have to work at multiple levels, from local levels, federal level, provincial levels to regional levels, so that we can be competitive in the world. There is no other way other than being competitive and having and marketing. Think our current tourism scenario will transform drastically, and we may be able to increase it manifold. I think we can host 5 to 10 million people very easily. Okay, and we can lengthen their study stay to at least $200 per. Okay, we should class tourism. We should now from mass tourism to class tourism, because our tourism environment is should be sensitive of our ecology, and so we should now strive for class tourism rather than mass tourism. So high standard service, high class attraction, and earning lot, providing world class services, and integrating several sectors